Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and in this case I'll try to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, given that this is not a video directly linked to survival and preparedness, even though I think it's quite interesting and cool to know how these things work, and it's related to what I do. When in all of my videos I mention, hey, if you want to learn more about this, you have my books, right? Those over there, they're available in Amazon, following the links below. I say that in all of my videos as to promote my work, right? There's usually, every once in a while, I get one of these questions, so I thought, hey, I might as well explain these things for people that don't know. Why would you? You don't do this, so why would you know? But the question is going to be something like, hey, where can I get your books without using Amazon, right? And it's perfectly understandable. I get it. I get why you wouldn't want to use Amazon. We know what these companies are. We know what YouTube is. We're still watching YouTube, right? And you're still buying probably stuff from Amazon. I mean, I know I buy stuff from Amazon all the time, even though I know exactly what it is. Just like we do pretty much 99% of the things we do in terms of monetary exchange, it's usually benefiting something that you probably don't agree with or something that you would definitely try to not use if at all possible. Now, this is where I want to bring up three big points. These are things, some of them you probably know, some you probably have no clue whatsoever. So let's get to this. First of all, when I first published my book, when I first wrote my book and I was looking for someone to publish it, I got actually a surprising number of people interested in some of these publishing companies that you know of. Some, of course, said no thanks, but yeah, it was a lot of these that were, hey, yeah, that is super cool. They liked the book and they thought that is very interesting. Probably haven't read anything like that before. I knew that they hadn't. But we can't go with this because of this topic and this topic and this thing. That's too violent. That's just too non-politically correct. That's the word I got more, like violence. Yeah, man, it's not a pleasant issue to go through an economic collapse and see real violence on your streets. It's just not the way it is. Anyway, for whatever reason, they just don't want to take a chance. So, number one, if it hadn't been for Amazon, I have to admit that it wouldn't have ever published any book at all. The second thing, and maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but going straight with Amazon directly to the reader is that you keep a lot more of your money. A lot more of the money that you buy in buying one of my books goes to my own pocket without going through a publishing company. Yes, the publishing company has to make money. Usually the larger, huge publishing companies get a lot more of your money and you get very little of it. You would be surprised by how little some even kind of well-known authors make because they just don't get huge advances, and the deals they get, unless you're huge and you have a team of agents and lawyers and you get a very sweet deal, usually it's really not all that great. So a lot more of every buck you spend buying my books goes into my own pocket and allows me to do what I do than if I had gone with anything other than Amazon, as I am. And the third thing that you probably have no idea, unless you actually bought the book, is that when you buy one of my books, these are going to be printed local. This book is actually printed in good old USA, yeah. The first time I bought one of my own books, because that's how this goes. It had to be shipped. It wasn't printed in Argentina. Argentina has nothing that can work along with Amazon, so they just shipped it from US. A book printed in US sent to Argentina. Do you have any idea how rare that is? Everything by these big publishing companies, it's all printed in China. Yeah, like Trump says China. Well, yeah, China. Everything China. You print a shitload of books by China and then you send them across the ocean in a giant ass container. And if you're worried about your carbon footprint, that is maybe one of the... All jokes aside, the thing is that this not only benefits me more than going through a publishing company, this benefits your own local economy. And I think that's pretty cool. I actually love that. I love that this book is printed in the United States for someone that is buying it in the United States. You're helping your own local economy. And trust me, I know this. These small publishers, they're not big, giant evil companies with evil agendas. These are usually hardworking people in some of the less advantaged states, and they work their asses off in keeping their business going, right? As you would expect. So it is great that this is printed in Ohio or wherever it's coming from. Sometimes it says, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on who specifically printed. But I know that if you buy this in the United States, it is for sure going to be printed in US. I don't know in Canada, if they print it in Canada as well, but let's say you're buying it from UK. If you're buying it in Europe, it's probably going to be local for you too. This is actually very nice. This is printed in Germany, right? Printed in Germany. So it's printed within the European Union, right? It's not just Germany. Oh, those fucking Germans. I hate those assholes. Okay. What about this one? This is printed in Italy. Printed in Italy, Germany, Poland, wherever they make a good deal with a small publishing firm, a small printing, not a publishing, a small printing firm. The publishing is different. The printer is the guy that actually manufactures the book, and that is made damn locally. That is awesome. Does Amazon keep a share? Yeah, it is decent. I wouldn't say it's not, but if you take into account my cut, if you take into account the cut of the guy that actually prints that thing, which is huge, it actually has to be made, and shipping locally instead of having some Chinese freighter crossing the ocean and some dude in China printing maybe 10,000, 50,000, whatever volume of books that maybe, I mean, if they're not even sold, they just get destroyed. And people do that because it is cheaper. It is definitely cheaper to make it in China. So guys, just keep that in mind. If you want to isolate yourself from everything, from Amazon, from the big tech companies, the big media companies, the big financial companies, the big bank companies, I don't think that's realistic. Now, you don't want to give them more money than you need. That's perfectly fine. Specifically for what I do, for the thing that I do know, as I mentioned, I think that even though they do get their cuts, it allows a lot of us to do what we do, what we love doing. We wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for that option. And I know that the guys printing and making them certainly appreciate the business as well. All things considered, yeah, at least for me, it's a no-brainer. I'd rather make less and have it printed in US or Germany or Italy or wherever it is than having printed in China. If you get a giant ass deal and you get a shitload of money and you're selling J.K. Rowling volume of books and you print it in China, yeah, you get your deal there going on. I like that mine are printed where you are from. That's, at least for me, that's pretty awesome. So guys, just keep that in mind. It's not something that most people know, but I think you should. Take care. See you next time.